Last time on
Danganronpa.
I figured it wouldn't be here. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration. Is it? I'm pretty sure I saw something in that dojo that this might go to. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Which I was about to do. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay, I was gonna do that anyway, but you're gonna be a whiny bitch. Open the envelope and look inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets? What's this? What's this? There's magic everywhere. I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class 78 student registry? Mukuro Ikusaba? The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers.
Yes,
the total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16! He wears to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see.
That's
obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game.
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to this case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? I made you wait. You got all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here.
Correct.
I want to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor? Really?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely.
In other
I used
words,
Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. Hello everyone, this is Runthrough, and we're back now in post-commentary for the court preparation and 5th trial! Memory float back, Kyoko is gone, mysterious masked body appears. The threads holding them all together begin to spin and twine into one. Yeah, computer decided to lag between episodes, and that just went even slower. It was creating actual lag, so I had to see what was up before starting this one, so I wanted to read that one to make sure. Let's go into the truth bullets, and let's see what we got. We have 18 this time. We have Monokuma found number 5. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. The exploded body analysis. The explosion has burned the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished by Mako. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry. Fake nails. The body was wearing notably long fake nails. Tattoo in the right hand. The body had a tattoo of a dog on the back of the right hand. Fragments near the dead body. There are bits of charred debris near the body. It should be noted that the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma and Jim had disappeared. Sprinklers. The sprinklers are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30, and the time is impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. When the body was found, 7 o'clock, Makoto wakes the morning announcement. 7:30, Makoto and Hina arrive in the dining hall. Between 7:30 and 9, Makoto meets the other and Jim and together hit the headmaster's room. At 9, Toku is told to find a pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body, hits the ground, and becomes genocide gel, and goes completely nuts. Knife at the crime scene. The knife was found near the body. The same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. It was all the same knife that Togi and Makoto were safekeeping, and a knife the masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. 9. Tart. Tart was hidden among the other items in the tool shed. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. Chicken coop chickens. The number of chickens in the chicken coop had decreased from 5 to 4. Also, Hiro claims that there were, without a doubt, 5 chickens just before midnight last night, and yet Yakiya's account. Yakiya has stated that there is no course in the garden after nighttime last night, so you can assume the murder must have taken play sometime after that. He also said that yes, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and him were in the gym the entire night, and none of them were alone at any point. Right before the explosion, the corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering the body. Now it had been dressed in its abdomen, and they were blessed around the wound. The body stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there's no blood on the floor. Kuro Ikusaba's profile: Kuro Ikusaba, female, ultimate soldier. She began with the military from a young age. She disappeared while on vacation in Europe and repeated in Japan 3 years later. Apparently, every member of Framework gets a tattoo somewhere in the body to represent their membership in the group. I know I rushed out a little bit, but you can read it for yourself. Makuma's account: apparently the killing game began with 16 participants, all students. It assumed that Mukuro Ikusaba was the 16th student, I should say Mukuro. Makuma also revealed that the reason Kyoko wears clothes is high something she doesn't want anyone to see, which we've already known if you follow her free time. Woodblock key. The woodblock decoration was found in Kyoko's room. It looks like it's actually a key to one of the lockers in the dojo. Titanium arrows. The set of titanium arrows that was found locked in the dojo locker, there appear to be 10 in total. 17. Bloody duct tape. Along with the arrows, there was also water ball duct tape in the locker. The duct tape had traces of blood on it. It assumed that this is related to the case, but nobody can imagine how. And finally, Kyoko's account. Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school, to sneak in the second floor of the dorms. The area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. We're gonna skip going over our skills, because we have not changed our skills. We are all set. In fact, I'll even show you what we still have. We still have Menacing Focus, Lost in Thought. We have Crystal Prediction, Neutral Liberation, and by the way, I did look it up. Melodious Voice. And that's it. I did look up Lost in Thought, I'll explain it later. But for now... all rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Hero.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait that Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her is her gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Yes.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Ding.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
It's the way the course was Kyoko. If I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... make your argument! Tattoo on the right hand, exploded body analysis, and fake nails. Let's do it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I know that the body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it. I just learned in this trial right there, it starts that the ET also does the concentration. But I found out that the crystal prediction only removes the actual true bullets that you have.
Wearing gloves.
And I tried it on a case.
They got burnt up in the
So that's why I know
Then she was wearing gloves.
then what they do now. I did figure it out.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing
By the time
gloves.
recording, I'm already in the game. Boom!
No, that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
No shit.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
And you do?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Because of
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Heroes up! Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Make your argument, sprinklers, split body analysis, and two in the right hand. Let's do it.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
And the one thing they can tell us was on the victim's own body. Yeah, what could that be, right, guys?
Kyoko really
Oh, I
is
should tell you
still
right now,
alive.
this is the best trial to actually grind
who
money
died?
and white noise off of.
There's gotta
Because
be
one,
some
it's
way to
short,
figure it out.
and two, there's plenty of white noise to go around. You can see, because we have the extended time, we have 16 minutes to get blow to get all of this.
And there wasn't any
White noise is
description in the
removed.
Monokuma file.
It's awesome! This is the one you want to do.
Can't identify the
Sure, you can do
body.
3 or 6 if you want, but this is the one you should do. And BLAM!
That's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
It's Toko!
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
You compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should be clear. That it's... Mukuro Ikusama. Bleh.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Arr. The image that represents Fenrir is a wolf. I can tell you that from all my mythology classes. It's Hangman's Gambit! But I'm gonna keep it short because I don't want to, and we don't have much time for this because this is gonna go by quickly. Yeah. God dang, hero! You're making my brain numb just looking at you doing this. I'm gonna wait, and boom!
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects. And it's me and
I got
Kyoko.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand! Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered?
I got it!
9
The
a.m.
body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. It's like 9 o'clock now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m.? Okay, it looks like the game has begun. But I can't provide an alibi for that period. I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Make your argument! Sprinklers! Explode body analysis at fragments near the dead body.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Beanbag's corpse was almost totally dry. In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden. And that shouldn't be too hard because we all know what time it is.
Time frame for the
You know, Hiro was there for when Monokuma mentioned it!
It took place somewhere between
Monokuma is, well, I'd say Hiro's a freaking idiot.
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Toko! Good God, woman! Ah! Bad!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
I agree.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet because she did it. All I do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Don't tell me. Yup. A moment of truth! Because Toko's being a freaking jerk about it.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No!
What's that? That she caused this whole explosion thing?
Hold on!
Is that why the fire happened and everything you know went the way it did?
Nothing. I hate you. No!
And yet she's the one that's causing
I don't know anything.
this whole argument.
Are you trying to blame me?
Her short term must be terrible.
I admit nothing.
I mean, she went flying from the freaking bomb! Oh wait, that's
I
right.
admit nothing. I
Her
hate
memories
you.
don't share.
No!
Which still makes her kinda you-know, because she knew that the bottom half was dry.
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
That's some exploded body
This should
analysis.
prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Same.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
No shit.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyo's the one without an alibi? I mean that Ukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting wasting energy. You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss. Shutting up now.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something that Cena was used to cover the body? Could it have been... this tarp?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? And why are we playing Galactic Ping Pong? Oh, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used the way Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Make your argument. Body before the explosion, exploded body analysis, and fragments near the dead body. Let's do it.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Remember, the blood in the body hadn't dried yet. Yaki even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting blood on us because he's a careless dick butt.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So
You guys see the ping pong going on here? And
side,
Hero needs to shut the fuck up!
got that side wet.
Here's the reason why we're in this.
Tarp,
Every time he says something stupid,
totally
causes the thing to go
spotless,
all
right?
off kilter.
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Make stupid things like that.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
And also this! Boom! So, I just want to mention real quick that this trial just seems completely off the wall, and Kyoko seems a little defensive this time. It's a little odd, like, who actually did this one? I have no clue. Hopefully next episode we can get something to come to light and we can find out. So yeah, I'm getting the episode here after this a little crazy. And I'm going to also admit that Hiro's an idiot. Toko is completely off the loony bin. Byakuya is his own self, who deserves the silver spoon he carries shut down his throat. And Hina doesn't use her brain. So yeah, I'm going to end the episode here, and hope you have fun. I'll see you on the next one, and we'll see how this trial continues. See you then.